Okay, today we are playing a game on Watchpoint Gibraltar. The average SR of this game was 1,846, and we will be playing Mercy on attack and Winston on defense. And our current team composition is Winston, Reinhardt, Genji, Tracer, Junkrat, and Mercy. So, of our 5 children, we've got 4 perfectly reasonable ones, and then we have the problem child, who thinks he's very clever and very innovative, and he's gonna pick Junkrat, and he's gonna spend the entire game ineffectually throwing grenades up onto the high ground and doing nothing, but he thinks he's helping, God bless his heart. Why can't you be more like Lucio, like your brother? But whatever, we're gonna just start the game. So we're all coming out the upper right side together. We have the Mercy skin from the summer event, which I didn't get, and I'm very upset about. We do have 2 flankers, so we are going to have a bit of trouble keeping up with our team as Mercy. We're going to have to go quite deep a lot of the time, probably. Especially since, as we can see, the rest of our team is also going off there together. So we're the only one back here on the payload right now, and we've got a Genji running right at us, and we decide that we don't want to deal with that, and we're just going to come up here so we can try and heal this Reinhardt. Reinhardt's fucking dead, though. I would have taken out the pistol and just started shooting at the Genji, because... let's be real here, this Genji's in silver, so he's probably not very good. And you've got the payload there to help you, you could probably just kill the Genji, honestly. But also, we do kind of want to heal our team, I guess, since, we are the only healer. Then we end up getting run down by Reinhardt. We would have actually gotten away, but there's one Symmetra turret in there that slowed us down, and then we just get killed. If it wasn't there, we could have probably run out the doorway and gotten up around the corner and flown back to somebody, but, sometimes you get fucked, basically. We would have also appreciated if our entire team didn't just kind of fuck off and leave us on the payload, but what can you do? So, Tracer's dead now. It's gonna happen. We've got a lot of children to try and put on a leash right now, so some of them are probably gonna slip out of our grasp and get hit by a car. It happens, what can you do? And we're staying as far back as we can. Genji was kind of giving us trouble. You don't need to go for that. You're already regenerating by that point, and you were not really hurt anyway, so you could have just stayed over here and kept healing people, really. Rather than going for the large health kit, which just sort of took you out of the way for a while. This is not the time to be shooting at someone. We have a lot of children right now that are almost dead. So not really the time to be shooting. Now, Genji's trying to get us, and, he's trying really hard, but he's not doing a fantastic job of it. He's still trying. Winston's not doing a very good job of killing the Genji, also, which is a problem, But now we're just running away, like, oh god, please don't touch me. I wouldn't want to do that, because this Genji has shown us that he is quite prepared to follow us to the end of the world. And if we come in here and he follows us, we just, we pick up the health kit, but then we get stuck in here with him, and we have to walk through him to get back to our team, and through anyone else that might have also come over here, so he didn't. So that's cool. First, he just decided to give up at that point, I guess. But if we ended up getting boxed in there, we'd be kinda screwed. So I would be hesitant to go and pick that one up. I would have just been jumping between people still up here. Because the benefit of having all of these people so spread out is that there is usually someone to GA to that is far away. So right here, we're probably waiting for Winston to die. Winston's not really in danger of dying because he's still at half HP. And this fight is actually basically over at this point. He's not going to die. You can just come over and start healing this guy instead, because waiting for him to die would be a long wait, if ineffective, if nothing else. So we res there basically to save ourselves. I wouldn't have done that because it looks like your team should be able to get there with or without you. Seeing as we were right outside the checkpoint. So this ended up not happening, as we can see. But the position that your team was in, they should be able to get there without you rezzing. So I would have just taken the death and come back, because they should have been able to get that checkpoint regardless. Granted, no one wants to die. And I have said that if you say res to save yourself, you do get to add yourself to this list of people that you res. This is all kind of pointless when you think that Mercy's about to just suddenly change quite a lot in the coming weeks. So everybody's like underground right now, which is very unusual. It's just like 3 people are just in the underground area right now. So, probably not worth lamenting the Mercy ultimates too much, seeing as that's about to not be her ultimate anymore. Instead, we're gonna ult, and then we're gonna go out there and shoot at people for 20 seconds. Have you seen a Mercy, like, running somebody down on the PTR? Like, running them down. She's fucking flying. Like, have you seen it, though? It's absolutely incredible. So, the reason I've gone back here is we spend a fair bit of time healing people at full HP right here, which you don't want to do. It's hard to carry as a support in general. Mercy, in particular, seeing as she has the least direct input with a fight. Like Zenyatta and Ana, they can like do damage. Well, Ana does a bunch of things. Lucio and Zenyatta can add in damage because their healing doesn't require them to use their weapon. And Ana can do a lot of things. Mercy has to put in the most effort to actually carry a game. And basically you just have to be as efficient as possible. So you don't want to be healing people at full HP. You want to just, as soon as they're full HP, switch over to damage boosting them. Or damage boosting someone. Because if you're healing somebody at full HP, that's the same as your beam just being turned off. Same concept with Lucio. If you're healing people at full HP, that's the same as you just not having an aura. So you want to be in speed boost as much as possible. Mercy, same thing. If you're not healing somebody, you want to be damage boosting them, basically. So, Genji pulled out his Dragon Blade. It was very, very impressive. Reinhardt just decided he wanted to waste his Earth Shatter on a fight we'd already won. That's his choice, but I don't think it was the best use of company resources. Genji killed the entire team, and then we came over, we helped Genji, he killed the whole team. It was great times. We got to take the checkpoint because of it. Now Genji's really feeling himself, you know how it is, and he went off to try and get more, ended up almost killing himself. Then there Genji stepped on a bear trap, and he was pretty upset about that one, I'd wager. So we get Earth Shattered right there, which is very unfortunate, more Reinhardt's fault than yours, and you decide to just take the res right there to save yourself as well. Better choice, because it's basically a tempo res, and we also save ourselves by doing it. So we get to just keep this push going and preserve our momentum. Whereas if we died and didn't res Reinhardt, we would not get to preserve that momentum because our team would have probably died. So, good use of res. The ultimate that's about to be completely different in the near future. So we end up in a really awkward position where we are actually like, we want to go more into this area. Because it's kind of scary because Reinhardt's over here, but he's getting dogpiled on by the entire team. And think about what's behind us. That's like most of their team standing behind us right now. And then we end up coming back out this way. We cut like in front of their entire team to go back this way, and we end up dying. The general default reaction for people to have is they just start backing up because basically they start backing up towards their spawn because it's like, well, that's my base. It's safer to go back towards that location. Safer to walk into your team because then you can use them as meat shields. Whereas we end up separating ourselves from them, walking past their entire team and getting killed instead, which is slightly inefficient. Reinhardt's over here. Reinhardt has been making it really difficult for us to heal him for a lot of this game, because he keeps, like, putting himself out of line of sight. We decided that Reinhardt was probably not going to kill this dude, so we just pulled out our pistol and tried it ourselves, which is fair enough. But then we get a little bit too carried away, and we go over to this guy. This guy's dead. This is a guy you don't GA to because he is going to die by the time you arrive at him. And you're going way deep into their team. Like, that's fine, whatever, you try and get her, sure. We don't get her. But then, like, this is not something you go to, because this is what's going to happen. You're going to end up in too deep, and you're going to be like, oh god, please get me out. And then we could just barely got out. We deserved to die for that. But we didn't die. Ergo, we didn't get punished, and therefore, we don't have to learn also. So, Reinhardt was like all the way over there, as you can see. So, Reinhardt seems to think he's playing Genji. I mean, Genji is melee when he's using his ultimate, and Reinhardt is just always melee. So maybe he thinks he's roughly equivalent to a Genji that's always ulting, and that's why he's all the way over there. This is not actually how it works, so he just ends up getting killed because he's a big old ball, the big old punching bag. So Junkrat, we see, has employed a very interesting strategy, where if we look at the kill feed, we see that Junkrat died to Toblerone's turret. But then, Toblerone's turret died to Junkrat's passive. So we can only assume that what Junkrat decided he was gonna do is that he was gonna go and sit on top of the turret. And then when he dies, bam, turret's dead. What's it gonna do about that? 5 bombs just rolled onto its face. Fucking outplayed, Torbjorn. So, most of our team is dead right now, because, I mean, you know, look, Genji just died also, way over there. What can you do? There goes Reinhardt, all the way in again, but he didn't actually go all the way in, just most of all the way in. So he ended up not dying. We've got res, that's cool. Winston trying to kill himself also. Genji's running at us, but he seemed to miss us every single time, so it wasn't all that scary. Here comes Genji again. He punched us and started deflecting, so it wasn't a very good use of his time. We just barely catch Winston in this 2-man res. This is a good use of res, because we res both of our tanks. Generally, your 2 tanks are quite important. Though, also, one of our tanks is under the impression he's a DPS hero. So, you know, it's debatable how useful he actually is, but at least he's distracting people, right? So, Molten Core is happening over there. And we don't want to deal with that. Don't go over to that guy, because you're putting yourself way far in, and he is elected to kill himself by going all the way over there. Do not put yourself at risk to try and fix someone else's mistake. This Winston, he has performed an illegal maneuver, and he's gonna get punished for it. You don't need to be punished with him. Also, by exposing ourselves, we very narrowly... Well, we exposed ourselves and we very narrowly avoided getting hit by this Earth Shatter. If we were just hanging out behind that wall, we would not have been at any risk. Whereas right here, it looks like he probably tried to hit us and ended up not hitting us. Granted, he did hit the rest of our team. So we hear Dragon Blade and we decide that we're gonna hide over there. Thing is with hiding over there is we just jumped right through their entire team, so we're not really hiding, we're just sort of trying to blend in with their team. Maybe they won't notice that we're an enemy Mercy. Also, our ultimate was not up, so there's no point actually hiding. Because the entire point of hiding is you have res, and you're going to use it after the ultimates happen. If you don't have your res, well, you might as well just still be trying to help with the fight as best you can, because you're not going to hide, then come out and fix all the dead people when you don't have your ultimate. We're not going to be able to do that soon in the near future anyway, though, so, you know, well, I say the near future. Last time PTR changes went up, it took about 8 years for them to actually go through. So, we'll see what happens with that one. So, I want to go back here because I just want to emphasize how bad Genji is, basically. Where he pulls out his Dragon Blade and he's like, oh, I'm really feeling it now, Mr. Krabs. But then he just walks forward and gets himself fucking annihilated with a bomb. So, it wasn't really a great use of company resources. He didn't get any of that refunded, by the way. That took too long. So, I really just wanted to emphasize Genji's shame. Because he could have just waited half a second and then gone out to cut people. But no, he had to do it right now, god damn it. His ultimate only lasts 6 seconds. You think he's made a time? Well, instead he got himself killed. So we're about to lose the game. The round. We're about to lose the round. So we change to the Lucio just so we can try and get back here quicker. We get back over here and we see that almost everyone is dead. Or dying. So, it's not exactly going very well. And we don't really want to come over and stand on the point because, frankly, why would we? But we do have to come and stand over here in the point. We're slowly inching our way forward. We got back here and most of our team were dead. That was also going to make things rather difficult. But we got back here and most of our team was already dead. So it was not exactly destined for greatness. So, Jesus Christ. Excuse me. So, now we're going to change to Winston for the rest of the game. Because no one on our team wanted to play a tank. We had 2 healers, but we didn't have any tanks. So, after some deliberation, we decided that we're going to change to a tank. So, fair enough. We have 1 healer, 1 tank, and 4 DPS right now. Our one healer is Anna, so, you know, we have a main healer, right? It's not like we have Zenyatta as our only healer, so it's good. So, our team standing not where we want them to stand. We shouldn't do this because of several reasons. First off, we see another Winston, and we decide that we're going to jump on him. Winston's really bad at fighting tanks, because most tanks have armor, so that's just generally fucks Winston's day really, really badly, because armor's damage reduction is most effective against heroes that do a little bit of damage over a long period of time. That's all Winston does. So, we don't want to fight any tanks, really, because they're the people Winston is worst at fighting. Like, Zarya doesn't have armor, but, like, you still don't want to fight Zarya if you can avoid it. And Roadhog also doesn't have armor, but I think that one's relatively self-explanatory as to why you don't want to fight that guy. So we want to avoid tanks. So we don't want to jump on this guy, because he's another tank. Moreover, we are jumping incredibly close to them. We're jumping right outside their spawn, basically. We kind of missed the bridge, so we end up going, like, closer still than we wanted. But we're still going out further than we're really allowed to go by jumping over there, and to try and fight someone we don't want to fight. Winston's coming into us now, and he ends up leaving his bubble too far behind, so we end up getting to kill him for just free, basically. Mercy was like, yeah, I'll go with Winston. Oh, fuck, Winston's dead. Oh, no, then Mercy was dead, and she was not happy about that. Lucio's not happy about that. D.Va's not happy about this, and Genji's gonna be unhappy about this also. So, we got to just sort of kill them in a nice, slow wave right there. And we slowly encroached on their spawn more and more, but we were riding the momentum. It's not like we just decided to come and stand over here for the sake of it. We were just slowly killing them one by one. So we ended up getting closer and closer to their spawn, riding the momentum. So we see Mercy right here. We killed the Mercy. Great. We've ended up going out pretty far to do it, but they don't have anyone that can kill us particularly quickly, so we can just jump away again. And we killed Mercy to do it, so it's good times. Generally, killing the enemy Mercy is going to feel pretty good. So we've been walking around at pretty low HP. Well, we've been walking around at half HP for a while. Let's not over-exaggerate. He said, despite describing something as taking 8 years earlier. So, you know, I'm a very consistent human being. So we almost have Primal Rage. That's cool. Poor Genji. Oh no, he was on a trap. We killed him. He killed Junkrat because Junkrat's bad. For reasons other than just picking Junkrat. He's also just bad. So that sucks. But we finished off the Genji. Tracer just killed a bunch of people over there. We've got Primal Rage now. That's cool. Not an ultimate you actively think about using, but is nice to have. We have misaligned our jump a little bit, it looks like, because I think we wanted to get up on the platform and ended up over here. We keep going really close to their... We keep going really close to their spawn to fight them, which we want to avoid doing, because you don't really want to be fighting outside the enemy spawn. Because, first off, it's easy to get killed when you're right outside the enemy spawn, but here's the thing. Here's the big thing. When you kill somebody outside of their spawn, how long does it take them to get back? They respawn, 10 seconds, then you just walk out the door and you're back. You don't gain anything, really, for killing somebody right outside of their spawn, because they're just back after 10 seconds. They respawn, walk out the door, bam, we're back. It's more impactful the further you kill them away from their spawn, because then it takes them longer to get back to where they were. Like, part of the reason Gibraltar can be hard to take the first point is because if you can kill their momentum, the attacking team's momentum right outside of the hangar door, they now have to go quite a long way to get back to where they were. It ends up taking them about 20 seconds to get back, because they have to take 10 seconds to respawn, and then it takes about 10 seconds to get back. Slightly more if you're a hero with no mobility like Anna. So, but killing them out the spawn, that's half as effective. And just generally also why we don't really want to fight out here as well, because think about it. It's hard, if you kill people out here, right outside their spawn, you don't really gain anything from killing them, but if they kill you, that's incredibly punishing, because now you are the one that has to make up the extra ground to get back to where you were, and they're pushing the entire time. So, we don't want to fight outside their spawn as much, like, we want to avoid that as much as possible. So right here we use Primal Rage. No reason to do so, because we can just jump away. Like, we get put to sleep, our jump is still up. Like, we didn't get jump and then get put to sleep. We got put to sleep before we actually jumped, so it didn't go on cooldown. And we were still mostly full HP. We did not need to use this, and now we're gonna use it for nothing. We didn't really use it to heal, we didn't need to use it to survive, and they were just in their spawn, so we couldn't actually do anything with it. So, it's not a very good use of company resources. So, we've seen Genji slinking off over there. We saw D.Va, but she got killed by Tac Visor, and now we're sleepy. So, we're not gonna be doing anything for the next 6 seconds, and now we're ready to go again. Here's Lucio right in front of us, and he's trying to get away. Where's he gone? Just finished the reload, honestly. Like, Lucio's a squirrely guy. Don't bother, like, trying to punch around extra to try and just, like, reload the gun, honestly. So, again, we got really close to their spawn. We've managed to get away with it because not many of them were still alive while we were there, but we did almost die. If they had, like, one more person alive, well, we would have been pretty dusted right there. So, don't know where Anna is right now, but, like, we should be going to try and find Anna so we can get healed, because we've been walking around at, like, not full HP. Then we jump in at not full HP again, right outside of their spawn, and we jump directly on their Winston, whom we've established we're bad at fighting because he's another tank. Now we're gonna jump up here. We found Genji. Genji's dead by the time we even got over here. Oh god, this is very unfortunate. We've walked right off the edge, and then we're in a pretty bad position after falling off the edge. Don't fall off the edge when the bomb is right underneath you, basically, is the moral of that story. So as we can see, though, our team just used a bunch of ultimates over here. Well, they didn't use a bunch of ultimates, but they used 2 of the best ultimates in the game, and wiped a lot of their team, so great, awesome, you know. Though, as you can see from the timeline, obviously they do actually get it a little bit further than this. They don't get it all the way to the end, though, as you may be able to tell by the timeline. So, well, I mean, I guess they could if they pushed it really decisively suddenly, but that isn't what happened. So we heard Nanoblade happening, which is why we decided that we weren't going to go over there, on top of a lot of our team being dead, so, yep, fair enough. Here's Soldier. We're pretty good at fighting Soldier. There's now we've jumped in a little bit too far now. We also are our only tank, don't forget, so we do have to be mindful that the payload is getting pushed under us this entire time. Because we are the only tank, therefore we're the one that has to go stand on that. But then we also, like, Soldier and Genji, we're okay at fighting them, but then we jump in, like, pretty far, and now we've got nothing to use, and we just end up having to walk up behind them. Oh god, and we don't see the trap. Oh no, then we're purple. Oh god. Basically, we get way too carried away with ourselves right there. And we were really close to having Primal Rage, and look, they almost lost the game right there, because nobody was standing on the payload. So if we were just, like, over there with our team on the payload, we probably could have swung that, seeing as they decided they weren't going to stand on the payload anymore and almost lost the round, even though they were winning the fight. So, there's that. So, we almost have Primal Rage built up again. Oh, we misaligned our jump again and just kind of smacked our head into the shuttle, which is a little bit embarrassing, but it's okay, no one saw, except for, you know, all the people watching us right now. So, we have Primal Rage now. That's cool. Again, not an ultimate you actively think about using, but is nice to just have. We are on Genji right now, and he doesn't like it very much, but he's dashed away from us. We get kind of low, and we just decide that we're going to use our ultimate. So, where's our team while this is happening? We're going in, like, way early, aren't we? Because our team isn't actually near us right now. It's hard to tell because we don't actually, like, look behind. No, our team is not here. Look around to make sure your team is here before you actually start, like, advancing towards their team. Because if you're going in by yourself, you're not going to get too terribly much done. You want to make sure your team is actually with you when you're advancing in as a tank. So we decide we're going to use Primal Rage right now. Our team is still not really here with us right now, so we're in here being very distracting, yes, but we're not really distracting for anybody, but we do bully that Soldier to death. I'm getting, like, a little motion sick because, god, that, all over the place right there. So everything worked out great. Oh, no, we stepped on a trap. Oh, god, let me out. Oh, we bumped our head on the shuttle again while we are at 30 HP, and that's not very good. But they somehow they didn't kill us. Even though we were still in the trap at 30 HP, they didn't actually kill us. So it's late August miracle. So Soldier's doing that up there. Unfortunately, we weren't really in a great position to jump on him and start bullying him so that he couldn't actually, like, kill people with that, which is what we want to do, but we weren't in a great position to do so. So we end up also getting killed, which feels pretty bad, man. Slightly inefficient, if I were to put it. Oh, there goes that. You know, that's very spooky. Alright, it's gone now. We heard it explode. It's one of the saddest things, isn't it? When you see that. Like, you see Junkrat's tire looking for someone desperately, and then it doesn't find anyone. It's very sad. So over here we see Genji. We don't like Genji very much, so we're gonna just try and kill Genji real quick. We didn't quite kill him, but he's basically dead. Then our Nano Blade happens, and that's, you know, Nano Blade is a pretty strong ult combination. But he only actually kills 2 people, so... Oh, and I killed that guy right after the Nano Blade was over. Oh, God, this just keeps happening to us. Oh, God, oh, hobbling away. Anna's dead right now. She died up in the kill feed a little while ago. So we're not going to be getting healed anytime soon. So basically, we just want to try and get out. Don't stand here, just, like, go pick up the health kit, or, like, try and find Anna, because, like, you don't want to just stand around at low HP. Because it's kind of how you get killed, really. So Tracer went in all by herself and just got focused to death. Here's Genji. We've come up here to kill Genji. Genji's dead now. Because he was trying to 1v4, and it didn't really go in his favor for some reason. Soldier's over here, also by himself. And we get a little bit too into it, where we're actually, like, not hitting him during some of this, because we, like, end up on his head at one point. We get, like, kind of disorientated. But we build up our ultimate, so we're just gonna start smacking people again. Oh my god, calm down. So very fidgety. Oh. So okay, we got there. We won the game in the end, because they actually had to get it all the way to the end of Gibraltar, which is actually kind of hard. I feel like Gibraltar, this is anecdotal, I don't have empirical evidence to back this up, but I feel like out of all of the payload maps, Gibraltar is the one that I see get to the end of the track the least. You know, I have never seen it go more than, 1 round. There's a lot of places along Gibraltar that are hard to push it through. Because it's hard to push it through the end of the ditch. It's hard to push it through the hangar, underneath the ship. And then it's hard to push it down the final straight as well. Whereas if you think about, like, Numbani, or King's Row, they only really have 2 locations to defend from. The first point and the very last point. So it's much more likely to get it to the end of the track. But with whereas Gibraltar has an entire extra point that's hard to get it through. So it just ends up, like, being really likely to stall out too long for them to actually get it there, you know? I don't have any, like, empirical evidence to back this up. It's just what I feel in my heart, you know? So, the things that stand out the most. When we're playing Mercy, we go, like, in to try and save people, but you're more important than those people. Don't put yourself in danger to try and fix somebody else's mistake, because that's not your job as a support. You're more important than the person that you're going to try and save, because the support is the most important member on the team. Especially Mercy. Because she's kind of based around, you know, being alive. This is gonna change a little bit, but she's still kind of based around still being alive. So, you know, she's more in line with Anna, where you still don't want to die, but it's not the worst thing in the world if you die. You know, whereas if you die with your ultimate now, it's like, well, just gonna uninstall that real quick, you know. So, don't feel like you have to go and try to save people. Just, like, hang back, play it cool, you know. If they're gonna go off and try and kill themselves, you don't have to kill yourself with them. When we're playing Winston, also, just, like, chill. Try to avoid fighting tanks, because we spend a fair bit of time jumping on tanks. Those are the people we're worst at fighting, so we want to avoid fighting them as much as possible. And, just like, play more cool in general. Just, like, hang back. Don't feel like you have to, like, go into them. Just, like, you know, if you're defending as Winston also, which obviously we were in this game, you are usually just, like, waiting for them to start advancing into you. And then you, zone off flankers and you jump on people who are straggling off by themselves, because that's easier to do on defense, I find, because the attacking team tends to be more spread out. partly because, like, some of them are usually flankers and stuff like that, but they're more spread out and coming at you from more angles, whereas the defending team is usually very close-knit together. Even if they aren't really trying, it's just like they sort of end up getting funneled into close locations. So it's harder to pick on people who are by themselves when you're attacking, because they're so close together. But when you're defending as Winston, people tend to be off by themselves more when they're trying to attack. Just like play chill, just be calm. There's no need to be so aggressive. Until you see, like, the time to go in. So, thank you very much for watching if you did. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer, and I hope you found the video helpful.